Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making the last of the 3 garden hand tools. So this is going to be the scoop. So we've already made the hoe and the rake. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check those out now. But we'll be making this scoop in this example. So here's a better look at this scoop. We'll be going back and forth to kind of make sure that we make this the same. And yeah. It's pretty easy to print, and it's optimized to 3D print because this is flat, so you would print it, sitting like this on your print bed. So if you're interested in it, you can go ahead and check it out. So let's see how we did it. All right, so if you're in the Fusioneers hand garden tools, we'll just make a new design, and then this is going to be the scoop. And this could also work, for like scooping ice out of a ice machine or something like that. So let's go ahead and make a new sketch. Start here, create rectangle, center rectangle, and then I'm going to make them 30 millimeters again. This is the same thickness as I made the other ones, just to make everything kind of consistent. So it's going to be 30. And then the length this time is actually going to be 120 millimeters because we have that chamfer at the back, just so everything looks kind of uniform. And then down here we're going to make a rectangle for the scoop part, and we're not curving it yet. We'll do that here in a second. So make these colinear, and then I like to have kind of a midline down the middle just to make everything nice and lined up. So horizontal, vertical with that. And then I like to make this into a construction line. So escape and then click X, and you should be able to see that as a construction line. And then the thickness, I think I made it 100 millimeters. Let's go back and check real quick. So if we select both sides, actually 70 millimeters wide. So let's go ahead and change this to 70. And then the length here is how long. So let's go back here, edit sketch. And so this is 100 millimeters long. So go ahead and dimension 100 millimeters. All right, so we have the base sketch. And so we're going to go ahead and extrude everything. We're going to take it up 30 millimeters, and that's because of our handle there. And then the next thing we're going to do is fillet this. So if you click F for fillet, and then select these corners, and then we're going to fillet it 20 millimeters. So that gives us kind of that nice curve here, and click OK. All right, so now we have the basic shape extruded. The next step is to create a kind of the profile here that we want. So create sketch, and I'm going to project this profile and click OK. And then we're actually going to make an arc here. So use a 3-point arc, and we're going to connect this part to this part, and then you can see it kind of snaps there. And what it's doing is it's making it tangent with these curves. So if for whatever reason you weren't able to do that, we can do it again. Arc, 3-point, select that point, and then I'm just going to say that I messed it up and it's blue. So you can just select tangent and then select this curve, and it should snap to something like that. All right, so now once we have the sketch done, the next thing to do actually is to create the fillet. So we want to go ahead, or the chamfer, so we want to go ahead and add the chamfer to the handle and everything. And actually we just want to add it to the base for now. So let's go ahead and add that, click OK. And then the next thing is actually to split the body. And the reason I did that in that order is because when we shell the front part out, it's going to take this into account, and if you don't do that, you could have issues. So we're going to split the body, select this, select our arc there as the splitting body, and then click OK. And then you can hide this back body by clicking V. And then we're going to extrude the top of this up 30 millimeters. And then the next step is going to be to create a shell. So we're going to select this and make it 3 millimeters thick. We're also going to select the front. And you can see here how it basically takes the shape of the chamfer that I added. So if we didn't add the chamfer and we made it squared off, when we added the chamfer, it would make this wall really thin because this would be coming down in a right angle. So that's why we split the body. And also the reason we split the body is if we chamfered it as one piece, the chamfer, or if we shelled it as one piece, the shell would actually go into the handle, and we don't want the handle to be hollow. So we're going to click OK, and then we're going to bring the other body back, and now we're going to rejoin everything together. So now they're joined back together. You have this little artifact in the back, but that really doesn't matter that much. And then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and add this chamfer here. So modify chamfer. And then we're going to change this from equal distance to 2 distance. So this is going to be 30 tall. And then we're going to make this just 10 horizontally. And so that's going to basically make this handle the same length as the other handles. And then we're going to go back and chamfer the other edges here. We're going to change this back to equal distance and make these 5, kind of like all our other handles, and also select this back here. Okay, and one issue I see here is if we do it that way, we have this different chamfer in the back here. So what I'm actually going to do, which is something that I also didn't think about initially, is after we split the part, we're actually going to go in and delete the chamfer from this. So just go ahead and delete this on both sides, and we're actually going to add it back. So you'll see these deletions here, and then we'll see what happens. And also delete it up here if it's still there. So we're basically just cleaning off this part. So you should have 4 deletions if you follow the instructions. And then we're just going to go ahead and let all of this play out, which is what we already did. And then here, we're going to edit the feature, and then hopefully we can get everything looking the same as the top. And so basically, if you do it out of the order of operations, then sometimes things look a little bit differently, but that's one way to get around it, is since it's split, you can go ahead and delete them and then redo the chamfer again. I'm sure there's a way to get around that, but I think for the purpose of this video, that's the easiest way to kind of reconcile those. I think maybe we could possibly chamfer this, but I kind of like how that looks, so I'm going to leave it for now. And then the last thing we want to do is just add a chamfer to the front of this. So select those two, can do 30, so it's in line with the handle, and then click OK. And so this is the original part, and if you'll look at this, I actually did not do the shell right on this one, so I actually improved the design some. And this is what I was talking about. If you didn't add the chamfer before you shelled it, it would shell based on the squared off version, and then you have this really thin portion here. So we don't want that. So compare that with this design where we chamfered and then did the shell, so it respected the chamfer and made this thickness a little bit thicker. So I like how this turned out. I think overall it's a pretty good design, and I think that this could be useful. Again, it's easy to print because this is a flat, nice surface to position the print on. And then if we wanted to color it, we click A for appearance, and then drag the ABS color onto there, and then click edit. And then what's our color? Green. So we will edit that to some form of green. So drag that over. Let's make it a little more green. All right, there we go. Click done. And so now we have a nice little scoop. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, the big things to take away from this is making that arc. I think that just makes it look kind of clean because it meets everything like it should. And then splitting the part and then coming back and deleting that. And again, the only reason that we actually deleted that at all is because this back part would have been different. So there's different ways to do it, but that was the one I came up with, and hopefully that makes sense. So and hopefully you got something out of this. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.